Are you still using last year's numbers to plan this year's mission? It's time to ditch your static budget and build a smarter, more strategic plan. Here's how. Hi, I'm Teresa Clark, and I'm a seasoned CPA with 30 years dedicated to serving 501(c)(3) nonprofits. I have experience both as an internal CFO and an external auditor for nonprofits. So I bring a unique perspective to what it really takes to be a thriving nonprofit. To learn more, you can jump in and explore my website at teresaclark.com. For most nonprofits, building an annual budget is just part of the job. You gather last year's numbers, estimate expenses, hope that the next 12 months go according to plan. But let's be honest, how often does that actually happen? If your organization constantly finds itself revising, adjusting, or outright ignoring the budget a few months into the year, you're not alone. Traditional nonprofit budgeting methods, they really often fall short. So it's time to change the way we think about them. In this post, I'm going to explore with you why static budgets are no longer enough and what your organization can do to build a smarter, more strategic approach to financial planning. What's wrong with traditional budgets? Well, let's start with the basics. Most nonprofits use static annual budgets. They're usually based on last year's actual with a few guesses about what might change. But this approach has some major drawbacks. Number one, it's reactive, it's not strategic. Many budgets are simply extensions of past spending rather than forward looking plans based on your goals and on the changing realities in your environment. Number two, it's built in a silo. Maybe your finance team or your leadership creates the budget with limited input from those with boots on the ground, your program or development teams. And this leads to misalignment across the organization. Number three, it often doesn't flex with reality. Yeah, something arrives late, maybe a grant communication is received after you've set the budget, or a fundraiser is underperforming what you thought it would do, or maybe there's a new initiative that you launch halfway through the year. Static budgets don't account for real life shifts and they become outdated fast. Number four, it's often detached from your mission impact. You see, budgets should reflect the outcomes your nonprofit is aiming to achieve, not just the dollars you spend. But many budgets fail to connect the financial plans with the program goals. So, what's the solution? Well, it's time to move your budget beyond a static document and start think of it as a living strategic tool. Here's what that can look like. We start with aligning our budget with our strategic goals. So instead of basing your budget on last year's spending, start with your goals. What outcomes are you trying to achieve this year? What resources will it take? If you'll budget based on those outcomes rather than your line items, you'll ensure that your financial plan reflects your mission. Let's involve department leads early. See, finance shouldn't be the only voice in the budgeting process. We want to engage those boots on the ground program managers, development staff, and operation leads early on. They have critical insight into what's needed, and they can help ensure that they have buy in when it's time to stick to the plan. Let's build in flexibility. See, forecasting isn't a one and done, put it on the shelf kind of job. Let's consider implementing quarterly reforecasts or rolling budgets and allow our teams to adjust based on what's actually happening. A more flexible budget is going to help you stay proactive and not reactive. Let's use the right tools. If your team is still managing budgets in a spreadsheet or a disconnected document, it's time to upgrade. A few of the ways you can do this is by using cloud-based budgeting tools, or maybe you need a fractional CFO partner who can help you track the actuals and budget in real time, run scenario analysis, and help automate your reporting processes for your leadership and those that support your organization. This can also be something a fractional CFO can bring improved collaboration to the table. Okay, so here's a couple of things I think you want to know. Many nonprofits lack in-house capacity to do what we're talking about today, to build that strategic dynamic budget. But a fractional CFO can help guide the process. They can help translate your goals into numbers, and they can support the forecasting and reporting needs. but without the cost of hiring a full-time CFO. So that's why it's called a fractional CFO. You see, I want to share one final thought with you that a smarter budget isn't just about controlling cost, it's about driving impact. When you align your budget with your strategy, with built in flexibility and involving the right people, you're going to turn your financial plan into a powerful mission alignment tool. Well, in part two of this story, we're going to explore how rolling forecasts can help your nonprofit stay agile and adjust quickly when there's unexpected things happening. Make sure you're subscribed where you're watching this video so you can be notified of next week's video, which is called Rolling Forecasts, a better way to plan for your nonprofit in uncertain times. Now, I mentioned fractional CFO services in this video, or having a fractional CFO, and I want to make sure you know that that's what we do. We provide fractional CFO services specifically to nonprofits. So if you'd like to explore whether we could be a good fit for your organization, you can visit our website, teresaclark.com, under services, and initiate a conversation with us there. We'd love to explore if we might be a right fit for you.